Race on the gate, top of the stretch. Here they come. There they go. They're up and pacing Sandhill Star. On Molly now. Third into the turn. Countess Fleet. Formidable on the far outside. Then last of Big Spenders and Big and Precious trails at the eighth pole. On Molly now is the leader. Sandhill Star second, coming third on the outside. That's Formidable. Then in fourth towards the rail. Countess Fleet. They're to it and at it. At it and to it on the front end. From the outside, Sandhill Star will clear for Kenny Murphy. Molly now has released her on the front. The quarter's up. 30 seconds flat. Formidable. Maybe out a long way today. She's there third on the outside. Fourth up the rail, Countess Fleet. Last of Big Spenders fifth. Big and Precious trails the field six. Off the paddock turn and down the stretch for time one. Sandhill Star the leader. Molly now is second. Overland third, Formidable. Fourth on the rail, that's Countess Fleet. Racing fifth is Last of Big Spenders. And the trailer, Big and Precious. 1 minute and 2/5 was the opening half mile. Midway around the turn, approaching the 5/8. Sandhill Star the leader. On Molly now. Formidable living on the outside third. Here comes Big and Precious. Driving 3 high and coming fourth on the outside. Fifth up the rail, Countess Fleet. Last of Big Spenders on the outside, the trailer. 3/4 next, and Sandhill Star gets the field there. Second on Molly now. Big and Precious third. Last of Big Spenders coming 3 wide fourth. 3/4 and 1. 31 and 3, going to the 7/8. Sandhill Star now by 3. Last of Big Spenders on the far outside. Now second. Molly now third. Big and Precious fourth. They're in deep. Stretch now. Sandhill Star doubles up Kenny Murphy early today. Last of Big Spenders second. Countess Fleet rallied up the rail third. 2-0, 2 and 1.
Well, after that early now double, unofficially, of course, third race into it. And now Kenny Murphy will have 9 more tries for a nice round number in that career win column. After this one coming pretty convincingly, a number of lengths in the difference. Just after a short downpour here. Instead of cooling off, Kenny Murphy heating up here now on a Sunday afternoon, looking for that nice milestone here. And certainly has a great shot at it here today. Coming up next, the Winning Connections with Vance Cameron.
Well, I don't think the smile was too big when the hail hit here before the third race. However, Kenny Murphy's got himself a driving double early on this Sunday afternoon at Summerside. Sandhill Star going to the third race winner's circle. Bay pacing mare, she's 4 but driven to win. Off the drop-off dam, Crafty Ann. She's a homebred of Robert and Brian McKay of Stanley Bridge. Robert is the trainer. Kenny Murphy in the driver's seat. 2:02 and 1/5 a mile. That's Sandhill Star in the third. Here's the official results from the third. Molly now fifth. Sandhill Star the winner. County's Fleet third. Blast of Big Spender second. Formidable finished sixth. Big and Precious was fourth. The fractions were 30. 1 minute 2. 131 and 3. And the mile in 202 and 1. In review, 513 264. Sandhill Star 370 to win. The exactor 2150, triactor 5670, superfecta was 8085. Today's fourth race on parade. Number 1 is My Ambrose, owned by Carl McDougall of Ellerslie and Jason McDougall of Muscush. Carl does the training, Kenny Murphy up. 2 is Windermere Johnny, owned by Windermere Farms and Claude Portier, trained by Earl Watts, Gary Chappell. Driving that train, number 3, owned by Walter Chevry of 9 Mile Creek and Andy Butler from Nanaimo, British Columbia. Walter is the trainer. Today, Adam Murner. 4 is Positive Art, owned and trained by Bing Easter Valeri, Dale Spence. 5 is Old Bach, owned by Kenny Wade of Summerside, trained by Edward Strongman, Bob McGinnis. 6, Rising Fella, owned by Jansen and Allison Sweet and Brody Ellis. Jansen is the trainer, Jason Hughes drives. 5 minutes wagering time in race number 4. JD has the info on the Atlantic Breeders' Crown Banquet presented by the PEI Standardbred Horse Owners Association, being held for the first time in the top of the park. Under 50 tickets to go before it's sold out, JD.
Yes, certainly you would not want to miss out on this one because interest, of course, in this banquet is very, very high. Redshores Racing and Marketing, in partnership with the Atlantic Breeders' Crown Committee, is pleased to announce that, as you mentioned, the Atlantic Breeders' Crown Banquet to be held Saturday, October 8th in the Top of the Park restaurant in Charlottetown. Tickets are $30 per person and will be ready on sale now at the Rewards Club desk. More details as well to come on the Breeders' Crown, but the banquet will be held in the Top of the Park this year. Tickets now available. All right, up there is one of the favorites on the inside rail. It is My Ambrose, 2-1 right at the moment with Kenny Murphy trying for a triple early on here. Only 3 races in here with race number 4 coming up next. Carl McDougall is the trainer and co-owner along with Jason McDougall. And as you can see there, our handicapper likes it for the win. Classifier up in the top 2 and has really been doing very well as of late, hitting the board a number of times over those last number of starts, including the last 3 of them. A third, a first, and a second. So certainly this time of the season, My Ambrose heating up here. Getting better and better as the 2-year-old continues on. That 158 and 2 timed mile last trip out for that second place finish. And that puts Murphy in a great shot at it here with that inside rail. Right now in there at 8-5. Now being scored as the favorite with 3 minutes to post in the 4th.
We are a lottery and gaming company, but change is a big part of our business. Our profits change lives because 100% of those profits go back to our communities to fund the things that matter most. For 40 years, Atlantic Lottery has been here. 40 profitable years. And we look forward to making a difference over the next 40. Want to know more? Ask us at askaway.ca.
Well, getting lots of action on that infield tote board as well. We started on the inside rail. Let's go to the far outside now with the 6th entry and Rising Fella. Blue Knight Jason Hughes in the bike with this 3-year-old for trainer, co-owner Jansen Sweet, along with Allison Sweet, of course. At a 4th place finish. First trip back here to PEI, and that was here in Summerside after the 20th of September. Scoring a 159 and 4 for the 3-year-old. Hughes getting a shot at the 3-year-old here this time around, and right now getting lots of encouragement from the infield tote board. Now in there at 2-1, closing in on post time now in the 4th. Well, back and forth on that infield tote board from the inside to the outside. Not much separating that one and the 6 right at the moment. Considerable action as well into the 3, the 4, and the 5. Wide open here by the looks of it in the 4th. They're heading behind that Sherry's Home Heating Service starting gate. That means that's our cue to pass it back to track announcer Vance Cameron.
My Ambrose, Windermere Johnny, driving that train. Positive Art, Old Buck, Rising Fella. Starting gate, swings around the turn. Entering the stretch. Now approaching a start. There they go. They're up and pacing by Ambrose. Windermere Johnny, third into the turn is Positive Art. Away fourth, driving that train with Old Buck. And Rising Fella. They're over to the opening 8th, and that'll be My Ambrose in line to Kenny Murphy to show the way early. Tucked away second, Windermere Johnny, third at the rail. Then on the inside is Positive Art. Driving that train is fourth, followed by Old Buck. And the trailer, Rising Fella. So the front quarter, that goes to My Ambrose. The 2-year-old colt was there in 29 and 4. Tracking in the 2-hole is Windermere Johnny. Around the turn, third is Positive Art. Driving that train has fourth. Old Buck goes to the outside, fifth. And Rising Fella is set to follow that cover. He's sixth. Down the stretch for time 1 as the opening half mile is up next. My Ambrose the leader. Second, Windermere Johnny. There goes Old Buck. He's coming third on the outside. Fourth up the rail, Positive Art. Second over fifth is Rising Fella. Now the trailer driving that train. Opening half mile in 101 flat. They swing around the turn going to the 5/8. My Ambrose the leader. Old Buck is at his wheel. Third up the rail, Windermere Johnny coming fourth on the outside. That's Rising Fella. Fifth on the rail, that's Positive Art. Outside, driving that train, here's the trailer. 3 in, 3 out. They're at 3/4. My Ambrose getting them there. From the outside, it's Old Buck second. 3/4 up in 1. 31 and 1. They round the turn for the final time. An eighth of a mile to go. My Ambrose still the leader. Old Buck is coming with them. Third up the rail, Windermere Johnny. Fourth on the outside. They're in deep. Stretch now. My Ambrose. This is a Kenny Murphy milestone. Win number 500 of his career. His third of the afternoon. Triple time. 2 minutes. 3/5. It's the Kenny Murphy show early.
Well, there you have it, the slow motion replay, a great milestone here. Despite the cool, windy, and wet day out there, Kenny Murphy heating things up here early on, and he wasted no time at all here today to get to that milestone. Certainly the chatter around the barns over the last week or two to see when he was going to get there, and like I said, wasted no time here today. Perfect start to Murphy's day.
Well, you can't beat perfection. 3 Kenny Murphy drives, 3 Kenny Murphy wins, and total them all up in his career, he's got 500, and that's a milestone victory on this afternoon here at Summerside. My Ambrose going to the winner's circle, pacing Gray Gelding 2 by Brandon's Cowboy. Off the Paris Dexter Dam, another Rose. Owned by Carl McDougall of Ellerslie and Jason McDougall of Muscush. Carl leaves the trainer. Kenny Murphy had him on top at every call, winning today in 2 minutes and 3/5. It's triple time for Murphy. It's 500 for his career, and Red Shores Summerside. John Arsenault's down there with the present